he is a famous actor now, and he is uncomfortable with his true sexual identity being public knowledge. The Deep Closet. You are listening to The Deep Closet. My name is Siren, and today I'm going to talk about my gay best friend who keeps hitting on my straight friends. So, I am in my mid 30s, and I'm still very close to a lot of my college friends. My gay best friend is one of those friends. Let's call him Jimmy. So Jimmy and we've known each other since we were 18 years old. I remember when he finally came out. Well, he didn't really come out. He just started living out loud. He never hid his sexuality before, but he also never confirmed it or denied it. But one day he just started living out loud and started talking about men and how he thought such and such was fine, or what he did with such and such on campus. And anyway, maybe it was a bit too much info, but I was happy that he finally felt safe being himself. So I remember just going along with it, acting like he's been out all along. Honestly, I did know, but I was happy that he was living in his truth out loud. So fast forward to today. This is honestly like 20 years later, to be honest. Anyway, Jimmy is in deep love with a friend of mine that I went to high school with. The two of them have been unofficial for years, and they are keeping it a secret because my friend that I went to high school with, he is a famous actor now, and he is uncomfortable with his true sexual identity being public knowledge. So Jimmy hasn't been able to experience a true union with his truest love because of this, and they haven't experienced like a real relationship because of this block that my friend from high school is having. Anyway, that's all the backstory. I'm just setting up the exposition so you guys have context for what I'm about to tell you right now. So, back to today. I am still in touch with a lot of my college friends. We are all still in one huge friend circle. And one of my straight friends, let's call him Rocco. Rocco is an ex-band member of mine. You guys don't know this, but I'm a music artist and an actor. And so Rocco and I were in a band back when I was 18. Anyway, Rocco is currently going through a separation with his wife. And his wife also went to college with us. So we all know each other. And we all know that they're having a tough time. And so we're all in support of them. We're in support of Rocco. We are trying to encourage Rocco to go out and have fun and get away from all the stress at home. Now, when my gay best friend Jimmy caught wind of Rocco's unfortunate circumstances, Jimmy was on the pursuit. Now, I found out all of this later, like weeks later, when Rocco came over to my house to hang out, and he showed me these text messages. And the text messages was between him and Jimmy, and Rocco was just chatting with Jimmy very innocently, sharing his troubles with his wife. Rocco is wanting to hang out. He's wanting to connect with friends because he felt down and alone. And Jimmy knows that Rocco is straight. We all know this. We've known each other for 20 years now. So I keep reiterating that because I think I'm just so surprised. But back to the story. Jimmy was twisting all of Rocco's words and turning them into sexual innuendos. It was quite disturbing. Now, poor Rocco didn't even realize that Jimmy was coming on to him until way late in the text thread. Listen, y'all, Rocco is from New Hampshire. He thinks everyone is just being nice. I mean, I can share some more Rocco the nice guy stories later because there's been numerous times that Rocco's just being too nice to people and it causes him trouble. But also, Rocco isn't expecting Jimmy to come on to him because we've all known each other for so long. Anyway, so the text thread got to a point where Rocco finally understood what Jimmy was throwing at him. And so Rocco said flat out, I'm flattered, but I'm very straight. And Jimmy got mad. Like, Rocco lured him in. When Jimmy knows damn well that Rocco is straight and just a super nice guy. So, I don't know, somehow their text thread ended, but I told Rocco that, he's got to start paying attention to the details. To be honest, I've been telling Rocco this ever since we were young, but I'm still telling him the same thing because he keeps ending up in situations where being the nice guy is putting him in the wrong position. But I didn't think too much of that incident. I thought they both could have handled the text conversation better, and I never thought about it again. It ain't even really any of my business. Rocco was just showing me his private text messages, and I'm just staying out of it. Now, weeks later, I have a show in Brooklyn. I hit up one of my old friends from Harlem to come and DJ for me. So we're going to call him DJ. So Jimmy comes to the show. Jimmy is loud. Jimmy is in the front row. Jimmy is yelling and giving me so much love and support, which I'm thankful for because I love to have an active audience. So I'm happy that Jimmy was there to help get the crowd hype. Also, side note, I'm also happy that Jimmy had a drink in his hand and he didn't ask me to buy it. That's another story about how Jimmy will always go out to a bar, order whatever he wants, and then asks me to pay for it when the check comes. He does this to everyone. Anyway, okay, back to the story. So my show ends. Me, Jimmy, my assistant, DJ, my cousin, we're all in the green room, drinking, smoking, chilling, having a good time. The show was lit. Everybody's just feeling good. And so we decide to go to a party. And so everyone gets into my car. And I'm noticing that Jimmy keeps making comments and jokes about himself being gay. I didn't know what was happening. But then it dawned on me that Jimmy and DJ, they have met before because we all met years ago, but DJ and Jimmy aren't that close. And so maybe DJ doesn't know that Jimmy is gay. And so, I guess I'm trying to put two and two together in my own head for things to make sense. I'm like, maybe Jimmy is making these comments out loud about how he's gay because maybe he feels insecure or something. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why Jimmy was making so much noise, but Jimmy always makes noise, so I didn't really think too much of it. So we're still sitting in my car, and eventually we decided not to go to the party for whatever reason, and we were thinking of where else we can go. And so I guess Jimmy got a text from whoever, and Jimmy famously summons a giant SUV to come pick him up, and Jimmy gets in the car and disappears. After Jimmy left, that's when DJ told me that Jimmy was really, really coming on to him very, very hard. And I was shocked because it's so clear that DJ is straight. I mean, I guess I can't say that nowadays anymore because that's not necessarily true. That's like passing judgment. But even if Jimmy was unsure if DJ was straight or not, then pull me to the side and ask me, like, yo, is your friend, like, who's your friend? Like, I will answer for you. I would be like, he's straight. Or just, if you don't want to pull me to the side, if Jimmy really did want to, like, holler at DJ, then Jimmy could have approached him with more class or something. I don't know. If DJ says I'm straight or I'm not interested, or even if DJ doesn't say anything at all, then that's a signal for Jimmy to back off and calm down. I don't understand why Jimmy was being like this. Now, another story, even more recently, I went traveling to Tennessee. Side note, I'm also in a bluegrass band with a bunch of white people. That's another story for another time. But I was down on the border of Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee doing a bunch of shows. And I put up a story post of the band and me sitting by a bonfire, just enjoying our time out in nature after our show. And Jimmy comments on my story. This is what he says. He said, "You gonna get some white dick?" Question mark. I didn't answer. To be honest, I am very turned off by Jimmy's behavior. He doesn't know that I know about his incidents with my straight friends. And what's sad is that I know that he's probably doing it to so many other people. Now, I don't know if Jimmy is going through some sexual frustration right now or what, because before recently, I haven't heard or noticed this kind of behavior coming from him before. Just like the usual loud gay best friend making comments about the snacks walking down the street, regular type stuff. And so I don't know what's going on with him lately. Do y'all think I should say something to Jimmy? If I do, he is going to be embarrassed. He's going to deflect because he always does that. And I think he's just going to be surprised or feel, I don't know, insecure that I know things that he doesn't expect me to know. So I know he's going to deflect if I bring it up, but that's not enough for me to not bring it up. Like, I don't know. Should I say something to him? I feel like he's being immature. And I also, like, if I'm bringing people around him, whether they're a stranger or someone in the entertainment industry, I do not want Jimmy's behavior to come back and reflect on me. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about this, but what should I do, you guys? Like, should I be a friend and stay out of it, act like I don't know anything, or should I tell his horny ass to calm down? Another thing that I've been wanting to do for years is, should I tell our famous friend that I know everything and try to convince him to run away with Jimmy so that they can both live happily ever after? Because I know they love each other so much. The only reason why I have not told our famous friend that I know so much and that I would hope that he and Jimmy can just be happy together and run and live a life. The only reason why I haven't said anything is because that would betray Jimmy, because Jimmy is telling me things in confidence. And if I go back and tell our famous actor friend, then it reveals that Jimmy told me everything and everybody's going to feel exposed and it's not going to be a good thing for any of us. So that's the only reason why I haven't said anything for so long. But I do wish that they would just run away together. Anyway, you guys. Let me know if you think I should say something to Jimmy or not. Put your comments down below. And just, as a friend, I would request, can y'all pray for Jimmy, please? I don't know what he's going through, but I think that he just might need some guidance right now. So pray for Jimmy. Jimmy is not his real name, but if you pray for Jimmy, the universe will know exactly who you're talking about. Have you had a friend who just keeps coming on to your other friends inappropriately? Have you been in a situation where you were inappropriate to someone or someone was inappropriate to you? Have you been in a situation where you are in love with someone but you guys just can't be together? Comment below. Thank y'all for listening. My name is Siren, and you have been listening to The Deep Closet. The